ready? I said Knoxville, Tennessee, are you ready? So y'all are no strangers to this. Good old Rocky Top. Rocky Top, Tennessee. They ready, y'all.
Welcome to Countdown to College Game Day, presented by Dr. Pepper. It feels like we were here not too long ago, but it has been 3 years since Game Day has made its way to Tennessee, and you know why we're here. The 15th ranked Vols welcome the 6th ranked Georgia Bulldogs to town. That game kicks off this afternoon. We will talk about that and so much more this fine morning. Everybody's ready for this. Harry Lyles,
yes.
Christine Williamson, and Harry Douglas in the building. What's going on, guys? You good?
Hey, let me tell you something. Of all the places that we've been to over the last handful of years, this is always one of my favorite places to show up to. The Tennessee fans show up in mass, but they also make a ton of noise.
Well, as soon as we announced that we were coming to Knoxville, Tennessee, do you know the excitement that I had in my body? every body fluid, every inch, every bone, everything got excited.
That's
Don't make
right.
a crazy face, Christine. When you're excited, every single thing, every body fluid
When
in my
you're excited,
body.
you're
When
excited.
you're excited, you're excited.
That's right.
I hope as long
You
as
should
he
be
kept
excited
it
too. Are you not
inside.
excited?
I'm very excited. I just want to make sure he kept his bodily fluids inside as they were excited.
Well, that's too excessive.
Anyway, let's talk about football.
Let's talk about the last time that we were here. That was in 2022. Obviously, it was a game to remember. Tennessee beat number 3 Alabama 52-49 to snap a 15-game losing streak to the tie. The Vols will be looking to snap another losing streak today. They've lost their last 8 to Georgia by at least 2 touchdowns, and Kirby Smart is 9-0 in SEC openers. For the Vols, Joey Aguilar has been great through 2 games. HD, what have you seen from the UCLA transfer?
So number one, the quarterback position is the most prestige when you talk about any level of football. So he's done a great job of, number one, protecting the football. He didn't do a great job of that when he was at App State, but he's taking care of the football for the most part in his 2 games at Tennessee. But he fits perfectly within the offensive system that Josh Heupel is running. You talk about being very accurate and throwing a nice deep ball, having touch. You've seen it with Mike Matthews last week, a long touchdown pass. In week 1, you also seen it with Braylon Staley. He caught a long touchdown pass versus Syracuse on a post route. The young man is appreciative of this opportunity being right here. When one door closes, another one opens, and he's taking advantage of that opportunity. I cannot wait to see how he's going to perform on the biggest stage versus the Georgia Bulldogs today.
And HD, you talk about somebody that's appreciative of the opportunity. You know, we hear a bunch about transfers and, teams spending this money, that money. This is a guy, when you have a guy that is looking for an opportunity, that has gotten an opportunity, he started at Diablo Valley Community College before he was even at App State. And even covering him at App State, one of the things that they loved about him was that he was cool, calm, and collected, which, like, Sean Clark, their head coach at the time, didn't always love it because, Sean Clark told me, he's like, hey, you throw a pick and he come back on the sideline, smack him on the butt, be like, hey, coach, I got you on the next one. And he's fuming, but he always had him on the next one. He's going to need to have that California cool composure today against this Georgia defense.
Which also is very important, though, at the quarterback position because you want to have a short memory.
Yes.
Even if you always want to stay even keel. You don't want the highs to be too high, lows to get too low. No matter if you're doing great, if you throw an interception, if you had a fumble, you want to stay even keel so you can bring your team back for the next following drive.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about this offense. The Vols have spread the love a lot through last 2 games. 5 backs have 10 or more carries. So how do you expect this Tennessee team to kind of push this Georgia defense?
I still think you're going to see, they expect a lot out of Bishop. I know that they've sort of spread the carries out. I think part of that has to do with the fact that they have beaten the brakes off of the 2 teams that they have seen, especially last week against East Tennessee State. Now, I think doing it by committee would be good, especially if you get multiple hot hands. I think typically when you see a team with multiple rushers like this, a coach will tell you, hey, like, whoever's running the ball well, we're going to keep running with that guy. I just think it needs to continue with the pace. You wear this Georgia defense down, you get this thing to halftime, into the 3rd quarter, keep it close, then that's when you start making your money. Because if you wear this Georgia defense down, you could be really talented, but do you have the win to last 4 quarters?
So I think in a matchup like today, it has to be Bishop and also start Thomas. I don't think you should be playing 3 or 4 or 5 running backs. This is a prestige matchup, one of the biggest ones of the day, the first SEC matchup of the year. So you want to make sure you have your top dogs in there and they're performing at a high level, but I do agree with you. Tennessee is going to make you defend every blade of grass. They're going to stretch you horizontally, also vertically, and they're going to make sure that the tempo is up time and time again. There are times where they may hit a home run, but they're going to line right back up on the football and make sure that defense is ready for what they're about to present next.
And if we do see multiple rushers, HC, if we're talking 4 or 5 rushers in the box score, end of first quarter, early second quarter, that tells me that they're not running the ball well. So if you see that, if you're a Tennessee fan, that is not a good sign.
All right, let's talk about the other offense in this matchup. That's on the Georgia side. Fans aren't too happy about how their offense looks, especially when it comes to the explosiveness. HC, what are you seeing?
Well, it's a few things that is really, I would say, hurting this pass game from hitting on all cylinders. Number one, it starts with protection up front. And I'm going to go to the third play of the game last week. They had a wide receiver on the right side of the formation, wide open on a post route for a touchdown. But guess what? The protection broke down. Now, it's also about the quarterback trusting his eyes and what he's seeing. The 16th play of the game, they had the tight end start outside. He came down in motion inside the receiver. They switched release on vertical go routes. The cornerback fell down. Gunnar Stockton is looking right at him. Didn't throw the football, threw it to a check down. So he has to trust what his eyes are seeing. But at the same time, when you do have your shot plays and the defense drops 7 defenders, that's the time that you're supposed to take your check down. Don't search for the home run at that time. Don't be greedy. Never get tired of making deposits in the bank and taking your check down in those moments.
The potential is definitely there, right? I mean, like, I love the weapons that this offense has. Not even just, the backfield's always going to be the backfield with Georgia, right? They're always going to have guys that are going to be able to run the football. But even on the outside, like, the weapons are there. I look at Zachariah Branch. I am waiting for a Zachariah Branch game. Like, you should have had one last week. Like, the fact that they basically had to play 4 quarters, that's a problem. And I don't know if that is just the fact that they didn't want to show a lot the first couple of weeks and save it for today, or is this still going to be that Georgia offense that is hot and cold and we just don't know what we're going to get out of them on a week-to-week basis?
So I would say this. Coming into this season, I've said to myself, okay, it's not Carson Beck at quarterback. It's not the guy who's that premier passer and that you can count on in every situation.
Right.
So I knew they were going to run the football a lot more, and they've done it with Frazier, Bowens, and also Phillips. But at the same time, when you have a Noah Thomas who transferred for Texas A&M, when you still have a Dylan Bell, you have a Zachariah Branch, you have to be able to get the ball to your weapons so they can perform at a high level for you as a quarterback and also as an offense. They throw a lot of screens, but the thing about it is have counters off those screens. Fake one of them and then have somebody slip past the defense and throw it for a touchdown. So it's all about Mike Bobo, number one, trusting the quarterback, trusting the offensive line, but having things to counter what you've already done in your first 2 games, especially in a matchup today versus Tennessee.
And if they, just real quick, if they follow that recipe, they have both their starting corners injured and the defensive tackle missing in this football game. There is absolutely no reason that if you are just methodical and do the simple things in this offense that you can't wear them down. Especially, I know that they love to get pressure on you, but if they can't get pressured, Tennessee will be in trouble today.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about Tennessee's defense.
Yeah.
Well, how do you expect them to approach this game?
I think if I were Tennessee, if I was Tim Banks, we know that he loves to get pressure. They've got the players to do that, even with their depth, with the guys that they have brought in, even at the cornerback position. Like, they've played good so far throughout the injuries. My thing is, can you get pressure, 1? And 2, if I were Tennessee, I would make Georgia beat me over the top.
There you go.
I would be stacking that, play the run, play the run, play the run. Hey, you know what? You hear defensive coordinators all the time say, hey, you know what? If they beat us on one, the first one's on me, and then we'll adjust. I would absolutely be playing the run, make them beat you through the air, because they haven't shown that they could do that at any point. They're not getting any explosive plays this year.
Well, to your point, every single defensive coordinator, I don't care what level it's at, the first thing in that meeting room he tells his defense, we got to stop the run. Because it's demoralizing when the offense can move a man from point A to point B against his will and continuously run the football down the field and score touchdowns. So I'm selling out. I'm going to force Gunnar Stockton to beat me with his arm, not his leg. It's not going to be Nate Frazier and that collection of running backs. Let me see what kind of quarterback you have from a pass game perspective if I'm Tennessee, and I'm forcing that issue.
Okay, knowing all of that we just went through, let's do some game picks. Let's start with Harry Lyles. Who do you have in this matchup?
Christine, me and HD were talking about this in the production office. There is every reason that Tennessee should not win this game, and yet Georgia still has not shown me enough to think that, okay, the things that I think that Tennessee will be able to do well in this football game, it's going to be enough for them, including this home crowd, to allow them to win the football game. I am reluctantly taking Tennessee. I think that they they are going to have enough. I don't know that Georgia's going to have enough offensively. The key, can Joey Aguilar not lose them the football game? He don't got to win it for him, but he can't lose them the football game.
Okay, so I was going to pick Tennessee. I had a change of heart, just like the show that used to air back in the days. I'm going with the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm going with the team that has won national championships recently. I'm going with the team who has the best coach, Kirby Smart. Give me the Dogs.
Okay. So did you tell production yet? So we probably don't have that for there. I don't know what the fans chose.
I just told them. I just told
in that
them.
moment.
Change of heart.
I specifically, it still says Tennessee. It's fine. That's actually Georgia. I also picked Tennessee, but I love that you did this because it makes us not go chalk. I'm very curious who the fans
picked Georgia for sure.
Georgia, so we're split right down the middle. We'll see.
There's no way the fans did pick Georgia.
We'll see. It'll be a really good matchup, that one later this afternoon. Okay, so there has been a record this week with 11 ranked teams in the AP poll. No conference has ever had that many ranks in the 9-decade history of the AP poll. Opinions have shifted quickly on a few of these teams over the first 2 weeks, so we thought we'd take a crack at placing them into tiers based off of what we have seen so far. So as our wonderful production staff sets this up, we have 4 total tiers.
Yes.
Justin did a great job with his bubble letters, writing this all out.
He did. No, that's not what you said earlier.
It's art, okay? Art is a practice. He probably hasn't practiced. Okay, so as you can see, we have 4 total tiers, starting at the top, Rocky Top contenders. Second, all biscuits, no gravy. Third, paper tigers, and fourth, bless their hearts. This is in order
Best
of
to
level.
worst.
Best to worst. We're gonna put these teams into what tiers we think we have. We have
Fantastic.
we have the teams on stickers. HD and Lyles are going to do that. Okay, so let's start from the bottom. Let's start in the bless their hearts tier.
Yep.
Teams that are fine
bless
for
your
now,
heart for you. Let me get
but we
that.
just don't see it lasting. Who do we have in this one?
Missouri. Look, when I look at a stack of these teams, among all of them, if I'm making an argument for a team to win the SEC, I think that one is just a little bit too far for me.
So I'm going to put Auburn in the paper tigers category. Jackson Arnold, Cam Coleman, can Hugh Freeze get this team going? They're doing great right now, but can they continuously stack those wins and be a dominant force in the SEC like they used to be?
Okay, so just so you guys know, this tier is teams that look good on paper, but not so much against good competition.
Yes.
All right, our next tier, it's a second to top tier. All biscuits, no gravy. These are the teams that look good so far, but are just missing that one thing from being great. So who's in that tier?
Oh.
Wow.
He put Texas in that category.
As our signs fall down.
Listen,
totally
I think I gotta see Arch better against a top tier team. I know he looked better last week, but if we're talking about the one thing that's missing, all the talent's there. Arch, I need to see what people think you are going to be. I do think that ultimately, I know you're looking at me funny, they are a contender. But for the interest of the show, baby, all biscuits, no gravy.
Okay,
wow, that's crazy.
So give me the Ole Miss Rebels. I'm going to put them in this category as well. Ole Miss has had all the intangibles over the last few years, but for some odd and apparent reason, they can't seem to get over that hump.
Yep.
I don't know if it's going to be this year as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put them in this category.
Yeah.
Then, you know what? Let me get Oklahoma, because I think what we've seen from them has been really good. Obviously, a big win last week against Michigan.
Yep.
Sorry, Cologne. But Jaden Ott, I believe he has 5 carries for 6 yards.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Like, John Mateer can be a dual threat quarterback, all that type of stuff. Heisman contender, looks great. Got to be able to run the football.
All right, give me the Tennessee Volunteers.
Rocky Top.
Oh, wow.
So I'm also going to put Tennessee in this category, all biscuits, no gravy, with the simple fact that you played Syracuse. I can't even remember the name of the opponent from last week. You haven't played stellar competition yet.
Yeah.
And today is that first matchup versus a premier university.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you get over the hump? Can we see a great Joey Aguilar? Because Kirby Smart has done a phenomenal job of stopping this Tennessee Volunteer offense the last few years. Who you got next?
Let me get the Georgia Bulldogs here since you just went Tennessee. I'll go Georgia. I'm still putting them in Rocky Top contenders. No disrespect to the home team, and we're not over the loudspeaker, so they have no idea that I'm dissing them right now. But to me, this is a team, if we're looking at some, the beauty of the 12-team college football playoff, you can lose and still improve. We've seen that with this Georgia team in the past, so even if they slip up today, I still think that they are just talented enough. This is an NFL roster now, that this is a team that can win the SEC.
All right, give me the LSU Tigers. I'm also going to put them in Rocky Top contenders.
Love it.
Category. Listen, Garrett Nussmeier, he has the opportunity to be a top 10 pick in the 2026 NFL draft. What Blake Baker has done with this defense, a defense that could not stop the run a season ago. But you got some transfers in there. Those guys are playing collectively together very, very well. They have a game in Death Valley, the real Death Valley tonight versus the University of Florida. I think that's going to be an embarrassment. Give me the LSU Tigers as a contender.
Definitely need to see some fire out of the LSU team. Let's go with South Carolina here. I am bringing them back over here to the other side, over to Paper Tigers. I didn't love the performance against a Virginia Tech team that has sort of been reeling. Like, you need to show me something. Like, Brent Pry is probably coaching for his job today. When they played, it's not the dominance that you would want to see when you're playing an opponent like that. I think that they can still end up on that first one, Rocky Top contenders, but haven't seen it out of them yet.
Okay, give me the Texas A&M Aggies.
Now, this one I'm curious about.
I'm also going to put them over here as the Paper Tigers. Reason being, number one, they play against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish today. I think that's going to be a loss, going to South Bend, Indiana. But also, how can Marcel Reed progress as a passer consistently versus quality opponents? And that's going to be tested today because Notre Dame has one of the best secondaries in the country. But I don't think they're just yet. So I got Texas A&M in the Paper Tigers category.
I'll tell you what, if Marcel Reed plays like he did in that about 4 to 6 week stretch that he did last year, I think they could be over there as well. Alabama.
This is very interesting.
Gosh, I'm going to stick them all biscuits, no gravy. And we're running out of room on this one.
You're being generous.
I kind of think I am too, if I'm being quite honest with you. Still need to see. Ryan Williams obviously hasn't been healthy. That's a thing as well. They just didn't have the same bite in week one that you would have seen. Like, it's one thing to lose a football game. You got bullied.
Right.
I want to see if they're going to get bullied as the season progresses here. Because if they do, they're going to be, to your point, AC, they're going to be down there. So.
Okay, this is pretty solid. I got nervous at first because you guys had 6 total teams. I thought we were going in order, but this makes sense. Only 2
Sometimes
teams
you gotta stack the box.
that are actually contenders. All right, let's talk about some games that we have tonight. Primetime window is absolutely packed. Here are some of our favorites. Hogs and the Rebs, they kick off their SEC slate at 7 p.m. on ESPN. Harry Douglas, what are you looking at in this matchup?
I'm going to say this about Arkansas. There's a potential upset brewing with this matchup. When I look at Bobby Petrino, who was my head coach at the University of Louisville, and the way he has been with quarterbacks and the way he dials up plays as well, I didn't like what I seen from Ole Miss last week versus Kentucky. This is a potential upset. They have a quarterback by the name of Taylon Green, who is a dual-threat guy, 10 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He's second in rusher right now. Give me the Razorbacks.
All right, Vandy's looking to join the ranked SEC teams. They have number 11 South Carolina tonight, Lyles.
Oh, Christine, this is a any given Saturday Netflix matchup. Who is going to continue the story? I am very excited to see what Diego Pavia does with this moment here. South Carolina coming into this one ranked 11th. I think they've still shown us that there needs to be more to be seen. So I am going to go Vanderbilt here, honestly.
All right, a rematch of last season's opener. This time, the Aggies head to South Bend, Indiana. What do you got in this one, HD?
So first and foremost, for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, make sure your antennas are up. Remember, you went to Aggie Land last year and beat them on their home turf. They want that get back. But at the same time, the best running back in the country, Jeremiah Love, 10 catches for 33 yards in week 1. Inexcusable. You have to find a way to get your best player to football multiple times so he can take pressure off of C.J. Carr. I believe that secondary at Notre Dame, they're going to make life a living hell for Marcel Reed this afternoon.
All right, finally, the Gators, they're looking to rebound. They will go to Death Valley to try to do that.
Christine, LSU left a lot to be desired last week. I think they're going to end up winning this football game, but I think Florida's going to keep it a little bit more interesting than I think people expect. And quite frankly, I hope so, just because I think that they're better than what they've shown thus far this season.
All right, we can't wait for all of those matchups tonight. It's going to be a good weekend in college football as we welcome in our favorite third Baldy on the show, Stanford Steve.
3 the hard way.
Welcome back to Knoxville.
Awesome.
Let's talk about another matchup that a lot of people have their eyes on. Clemson is going to head to Atlanta to take on Georgia Tech. Harry Lyles will also be there. He really thinks that the Georgia Tech, what do you like to call them, bees?
The bees.
That they might win this one. But what has been the most disappointing, or why has Clemson been struggling so much this season so far?
The offensive line, there's just a lack of consistency. When I go back and look, I think it's 76 yards rushing the game. That's 234th in the country. Like, you have to be better with all the returner starters they had. Now you look, they're nicked up. I really think they got flustered when they lost Antonio Williams that third play of the game against LSU. You could tell the game plan had to be supremely adjusted because he was going to be the guy they were going to go to. What he did at the end of last year and getting his name up there with the top receivers in the country, that really affected him. And with the lack of run game, it puts Klubnik in a tough spot where, you get LSU guys that they know they got to throw the ball. Right. It's easy to just put your hand down knowing when they're going to throw. We're going to pin our ears back and go. So Clemson has to be better offensively. It's a tough matchup. Brett Key's been great against AP-ranked teams in the ACC, so it's a tough matchup. Clemson's got to win with their defense, though, so they could give their time for the offense to figure it out. They got to be stout on the defense. I mean, you saw that in the second half when they had to have it last week.
Yeah, I mean, they're missing their left tackle today.
Yeah.
He's out. Antonio Williams is still out this week, and I think they're missing a defensive starter as well. Look, and I know people are talking about, hey, the health of Haynes King has been a topic of discussion. Let me tell you something. That does not matter. Aaron Philo, you've seen the tape.
Out last week.
I believe he actually beat Trevor Lawrence's record for all-time passing yards in Georgia high school history. Like, this dude is a baller. Like, this is a team that's keeping 2 dudes on the roster for a reason. Yeah. I think between that, Jamal Haynes, he's finally healthy. They feel good about the receiver room. I know a lot of people were, feeling bad about the Eric Singleton loss.
Yeah.
But this Georgia Tech team, man, hungry, and they see that opportunity in front of them, man.
Well, I would also say this about Georgia Tech. It's the shifts, it's the motion, it's the misdirection, it's the quarterback run. I believe that they're going to upset Clemson today.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be close. So at 12 noon, be alert, folks. You heard it here first.
Lyles, you'll be there. Who do you have in this matchup?
Georgia Tech. I feel very confident in that.
Steve.
I'm going to take Clemson. I think it's the last stand. The season's done.
Yeah,
if they lose
this one.
That's an out-of-conference loss, and then that's an ACC loss. You're up against it, man. Yeah. And what you've put on tape so far, you're going to tell me you're going to win 9 in a row? I don't see that.
I will say, though, one thing to watch in this game, because I was at Georgia Tech right before the season started and was talking to Brent Key about, how he felt about the team. He said, our offensive line is really talented, but they're young.
Yeah.
And so still going up against that Clemson defensive line, to me, that's where the game is decided.
That's the matchup.
He said, our guys are talented, but they're young.
Okay, so that's one game that's going to make me nervous today. Another game that could make me nervous is South Florida at Miami. That one's at 4:15 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so surprisingly, this is a big game, right? When you think about what South Florida has done so far this season. But they will have to do it, obviously, against the 5th team in the country. Miami is a 3-score favorite at home. So let's start on the USF side. What has impressed you the most about what the Bulls have been able to do this season?
What they've put on tape.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this. If they win today, they should be number 1 in the country.
I agree.
They should.
I agree.
I mean, the resume and what they're doing.
Yep.
Quarterback's a great player. The defense has played great. The head coach has been phenomenal. But this is a different matchup. Yeah. Miami has NFL guys. Last week against Florida, Caleb Banks didn't play.
Yeah.
He's one of the best defensive tackles in the SEC. Now you got Mesidor and you got Bain on that side all game. Miami has a huge advantage up front. I expect Miami to win easily today.
Well, I would also say this when it comes to South Florida. Offensively, you better make sure there are 2 guys that you have blocked. Hakeem Mesidor, one defensive end, and the other one, Ruben Bain. Combined, those 2 guys have 3 sacks right now. They're relentless coming off the edge, but you got to get those guys blocked if you want a chance today.
This USF team, a lot of guys that were already there talented, but they also brought in a lot of guys. If you look up and down this roster, senior, redshirt senior, graduate, 6th year, 7th year, they still got some COVID guys on it because I had their game against Boise State. It was like, holy crap, like some of these guys aren't even on, their parents' health insurance. Like they're that old. But But I think a big key for this team, and Alex Golesh told us this when we had him week 1, Byron Brown's got to know when to get rid of the football.
That's right.
Yep. You know, and he wants to deliver hits. We saw that against Boise State, right? We kept seeing the clip of him digging in to that defensive back, throwing heat back. Hey, man, Miami, like you said, these are NFL guys.
Yeah.
That's different. He's going to have to be careful in this one.
But let me also say this. For a quarterback like Carson Beck, to have the luxury of Malachi Tony and also C.J. Daniels, those weapons that he has this year are better than the weapons that he had at the University of Georgia. When you have guys that can beat man coverage and understand the voided zoning areas and present themselves to their quarterback so they can catch the football, it is a luxury for a quarterback like Carson Beck.
That was my biggest question about Miami coming in. You had Beck, you didn't do spring ball. They lost their top 6 pass catchers. And to your point, I had no idea what they had. And, they kept it under the rat like, oh, we got some freshmen. I'm like, you're relying on freshmen? You saw they balled out against Notre Dame, who I still think is the top secondary in the country.
I've got Miami.
Okay.
I think South Florida's going to put up a fight, but I just think when we look at, guys versus guys, Francis Maui Noah is the guy I look at in this game.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, as good as that defensive line is for South Florida, I think it's going to be a little bit too much.
You going Miami?
Yeah, I'm going Miami as well.
3 straight weeks, man.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I think Miami covers too.
All right.
Big number.
Thanks, guys. I'm glad Steve's on my side. Okay, Steve, thanks for hanging out with us.
All right. Appreciate it, guys. It's hard to hear.
It really is.
All right, time now for Get More Game Day presented by Geico. There are iconic foods, obviously, across all of America on college campuses. Barbecue, cheese, creamery, but there is something special in Knoxville. It's called steamed sandwiches. Yesterday, Jess got a chance to see what the hype is all about.
Here we are outside of a Knoxville knockout. This is Gus's Good Times Deli, but y'all, they are known for their steamed sandwiches, which doesn't really sound like a good time to me, but I'm not gonna knock it till I try it. So come with me and let's find out.
You want smoked or sharp cheddar? All right.
You took over this place when?
2001.
2001. Why did you want to do that?
Because I've been working here since I was 19. I started working here in 1993.
And when did y'all open?
81.
But here's the thing, I'm a little apprehensive about the steamed part. Can you tell me why I shouldn't be afraid of that?
You should not be afraid of it. If it's worked since 1981, what could be wrong with it?
Listen, not everyone's into the same kinds of things. So usually I like a crispy situation.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's great. You'll see. Because see, the bread is a little hard before you get there.
Okay.
And so when you steam it, it makes it a little softer. And it heats it all up. But people line up all day on game days. It'll be lined up to Cumberland tomorrow for these steamed sandwiches because they can't get them anywhere. It's about to be yours, Jess.
I'm very excited.
As you should be. All right, there's that.
Oh my gosh, it really is steamed.
Yeah,
Oh my, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Aaron, this is the best sandwich I have ever had, and I'm not just saying
we'll
that.
see you tomorrow.
I've eaten a lot of sandwiches.
Wait,
the steamed is really, really good.
I know. These people wait in line for this stuff. They ain't no joke.
All right, look who we have here. Nate Ament in the building. Hello, look at you just casually with your bell here.
Yeah, what's up, Nate?
Yeah.
What's up, Nate?
What we got going on? Come on, man.
This is amazing. This is amazing. Okay, so obviously we're here at Game Day. It's your first season here. You've been to Game Day though before, right?
I know I haven't.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, so how is it being here?
It's crazy, man. These fans are electric. I got here. I've never played a game for Tennessee yet, but they've accepted me, and they're just loud, man. They're always loud. It's crazy.
When he came out here, just so you guys know, everybody started screaming, Nate, 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 Nate. So you're already their guy. Yeah. High expectations, obviously, this season. What do you think the Vols are going to do?
We look good. We've been practicing now for 3 months. Coach Barnes made it real tough on us. He knows we got a chance, but he knows that if we want to get to where we want to get to, he has to push us real hard. So expectation-wise, I think you can expect a lot from us. We're going to work hard and try to win as many games as possible.
So let me ask you this. Being a former athlete, everything is not peaches and cream. Talk about the dog days and the biggest challenge coming into this season for you guys.
I think the biggest challenge for us is, getting our bodies right. Also just how quickly we can get connected. Now with college athletics, you have a new roster every season. So that with the transfer portal and all the freshmen are coming in, how quickly we can get connected. And I think we've been doing a great job of doing that.
Can you tell us how difficult it is playing in the SEC? Like, I don't think people realize, like, for as good as football has been in the SEC 4 years, last year and this year coming up in basketball, you are not going to have a day off. Like, how challenging is that piece of it as well?
As you know, I've never played, but, having some of my teammates come from the SEC and just them harping on how tough it is and the physical challenge. Like the SEC tournament, you're going 3 back-to-back games if you want to get that championship. So it's one of the best conferences in America, if not the best. Last year, you could see with all the product they produced, and it was spectacular to see.
So, Neyland Stadium, you have a premier matchup today starting at 3:30 p.m. What are you looking forward to the most as you enter the stadium?
Man, so me and my teammates, we're going to be rocking the overalls this game.
Okay.
So I'm excited to get into the student section, kind of hype up the crowd.
Well, hold on now.
Wait, hold on.
Because you're slim now.
Yeah.
The overalls will look different.
I'm looking like a hillbilly today. I'm putting them overalls on for sure.
Did they find overalls that are long enough?
They did. A little bit high waters, maybe a little bit, but I don't care. I'm just here.
Flooding just a little bit. I am curious because obviously we know that Tennessee is a great place to be, Knoxville obviously, but why did you decide to become a Vol?
All the support as you can see here, but also just like Coach Barnes, man, he's great. He has high goals for me, high expectations, and as I've been seeing for these past couple months of practice, he's going to stop at nothing to get me to my goals and where I want to get to, and I just improved all the better because of him.
Who do you have tonight? Or today?
What are we doing? Tennessee. Come on, Rocky Top, baby.
If you was to say Georgia, go ahead, go to the dorm.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for stopping by, and good luck this season.
Thank you so much.
Have fun today.
Absolutely.
Can't wait to see you in those overalls.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, time now for Fansville Advantage, presented by Dr. Pepper. So we're going to turn our attention to the Big Ten. Quiet week in the conference this week, but next week, Illinois heads to Bloomington to take on Indiana, a pivotal game for both teams' playoff hopes. How key is home field advantage for the Hoosiers?
Oh, it's massive. Especially this, you talk about call it a fresh fan base. Like, this is new to them. They don't win football games, so they're showing up to that stadium every single week like it is life or death. So I think it's going to be fantastic for this team. They've continued to roll. Francisco Mendoza has continued to look well, so I think it's going to be a big week for the Hoosiers.
Well, I also want to give a lot of credit to their head coach, Kurt Signetti. He has brought that energy to Bloomington, to the Indiana University and those Hoosiers. So for them to be able to be there rowdy, we did College Game Day from Indiana last season. Those fans were out there early. They were loud. They were proud. And they were able to get a victory in that ball game. This is going to be a tough one next week, though, because Luke Altmaier has done a phenomenal job for Illinois.
Football school now.
Yeah, we love that. Okay,
I know y'all don't want to hear that, my Indiana folk, but
there are 3 teams in the Big Ten that are in the top 4.
Yes.
What are our thoughts on the Big Ten conference?
So when we have the discussion of, people are like, it's the Big Ten overtaking the SEC, this, that, and the third. They're very top heavy, right? I look at Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon. I'll give you Indiana. I'd probably give you Illinois before I give you Indiana. You still need to see a little bit more from them, but it's very top heavy. So I think those top, though, those are tough games. Like Penn State, Oregon in a couple weeks here, that's going to be an interesting one.
Well, I think the biggest thing within the first 2 weeks of college football, I don't think enough people are actually talking about Oregon. Dante Moore has been phenomenal. They have a young freshman receiver, Decorion Moore.
Monster.
Man, I can't wait till he really gets going and they feed him the football a lot more. He's a guy that's going to put up big numbers for this Oregon Duck football team this season.
All right, it'll be very interesting to watch him take on Penn State. Dr. Pepper is making college dreams come true with the 2025 Dr. Pepper tuition giveaway. Visit drpeppertuition.com to learn how to enter for a chance to compete to win up to $100,000. All right, let's talk about some unsung heroes in college football because there's a lot of people that we haven't talked about enough. HD, I want you to start us off.
Well, I'm going to go for this matchup for the University of Georgia.
Quit playing, actually, bro. We got to celebrate your birthday, man. Give me them cupcakes.
It's on Tuesday.
Man, let me tell y'all something. HD thought we were getting ready to talk about some unsung heroes.
If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
That's right.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Let me go to Cardinal.
Happy birthday, dear Harry Douglas. Happy birthday to you. Are you surprised?
I am very surprised.
Edible, by the way.
But let me say this too, guys, because I share my birthday with the love of my life, my wife. We have the exact same birthday, and I am honored to be able to share my birthday with her, but also be married to her. She does a great job with me, my kids, the businesses that she owns. So I'm going to make this about her because, boy, when you have a great one, you make sure you give her the praise that she deserves.
That's right. Take notes at home.
I love that. Okay, so should we eat a cupcake?
We were not sure if them faces were edible. They are.
I'm going to take a good little bite.
Oh, we all pick vanilla. I'll pick chocolate.
I'm about to be bougie. I'm about to peel mine off and eat it.
I have gum in my mouth.
Is this pizza?
Listen,
that is paper.
It is hard to surprise me. Y'all surprise me.
Here, take this so I can.
I have gum.
Wow.
I don't know why you should have bet it out. All right, well, we hope you have the best birthday ever.
Y'all don't like chocolate?
And we hope that you guys have the best college football Saturday of your lives, okay? Celebrate Harry Douglas and obviously celebrate Miami winning and Clemson winning. We're speaking it into existence. Just ignore them. Thank you for watching Countdown to College Game Day presented by Dr. Pepper. I just spit.
I don't want to get messy.
You know I love chocolate.
Cologne likes chocolate.
Yes, he does.